Hello, everyone. It feels so good to be in the great state of Texas, even if it's just virtually. My name is Brooke Mangum, and I'm the founder of Opta Group. And we develop, manufacture, and distribute Tommy Chong CBD, which, lucky for me, means that I get to work with Tommy Chong, who just so happens to be here with us today. Hey, Tommy, how are you?
Hey, Brooke, you're looking even more beautiful than ever.
Oh, shucks, Tommy. Well, I think first and foremost, we've got to have a birthday message is in order. I think somebody's celebrating a birthday. Mr. Willie Nilsson, do you have any words of wisdom for your pal on his big day?
Yeah, Willie. Okay, words of wisdom. Willie, don't eat the yellow snow. That's my words of wisdom today. And happy birthday, you old codger. He's officially a codger now. You go from icon to codger, and I want to do a shout out to Luke, his son, because I know he's standing really close to Willie, watching him. Like my son takes care of me, Luke takes care of Willie. So a big happy birthday, Willie. I'd sing you a song, but you probably would rather sing your own song,
Oh, I love it. Okay, Tommy, let's dive on in here today. Both you and Willie are legends on and off the stage. And you quite literally, when it comes to cannabis, you guys blazed the trail so that we could all be here today. But let's have a little fun. Let's step back in time. So when you first came on the scene, what was cannabis culture like, and how has it changed from that to today?
Well, when I first came on the scene, it was a secret. You couldn't smoke it. You couldn't let anybody know you were smoking it. I had a band one time, and the singer was a very healthy, he's a football player, health nut. And so he never smoked. And the rest of the band, we were sort of just getting to know each other. We didn't know. Anyway, the piano player, who I eventually married his sister, my first wife, Maxine, Bernie, he smoked, but he never let me know that he smoked, and I never let him know that I smoked. And so one day in Vancouver, we got kicked out of Calgary. We ended up in Vancouver. I went out to meet the dealer. There's a guy that would sell pinners, little skinny joints made rolled up marijuana dust. And I went out and he sold them for $1 a piece. I went out to buy one, and there's Bernie. And even though we had played in the same band together for about a year then, neither one of us knew that the other one smoked. You hid it. You never let anybody know because it was so illegal. And back then it was considered dangerous. Reefer madness, everybody, you could smoke it in Calgary because nobody knew what it was. The police never knew what it was. We'd get stopped and they would search the car for beer, and we could be smoking, at least I could be smoking, and the cops wouldn't know what I was doing, Anyway, that's what it was like back in the day.
Well, and now you can go to a store and you can not only buy weed, you can choose your strain, you can choose how you want to feel. It's such a crazy change, and it really happened so fast. Did you think that we'd ever get to a point like this? Because it wasn't that long ago that the DEA was raiding your house and you were behind bars for selling bongs.
Yeah. And by the way, I'm looking to sue the government to get my money and my name back, and everything. Yeah. At one time I was just going for the pardon, but now I'm going to go for the whole thing. Get the money back. Did I ever think? No, to tell you the truth, I never ever thought it would be legal. I just went along. I never became an activist until I got busted. And then I had no choice because when I was in jail and out of jail, everybody wanted to talk to me, and they thought it was such a great injustice. Well, myself, I always flirted. I was on the edge of going to jail most of my life because all my friends were either in jail or going to jail. And because I hung with a very rough crowd in Canada, Calgary. In fact, it was the band that saved me from going to jail. The fact that I could play music. But, I never thought, I was always kind of skeptically thinking that it should be decriminalized. There shouldn't be. You shouldn't have to go to jail for a joint. That's what I used to think. The dealing, the thing is, it's a black market, and that's big, and it's the gangster type people that run it, and so you don't really want to criticize or come out against those guys. So I personally, I never dreamed it would be like it is now. Never dreamed. I never thought that I would see old ladies, using the substance to sleep with. Like my wife, she's not old, but she's gorgeous. But she would never smoke, with me. She would leave the room. Oh, I got to tell you, the other day, I'm doing a photo shoot, and my dog, my little poodle, Captain, whenever there's a camera, he jumps on my lap and everything else. And so it was a photo shoot for smoking pot. So he jumps up on my lap, he's posing away, and I lit up a joint. Boom, he's gone. He took off. It was like I don't want to contact that. I know what it does to you.
That dog has had that. He's been down that road before, and he knows that he wants none of that.
Yeah, he took one whip. Oh, I'm out of here.
Trouble's a brewing. I bet for like all the crazy stories, because I know you have a bunch, and all the crazy things you've been through, I bet that I think that you were probably shocked that the thing that you ended up going to jail for was selling bongs online, because I bet there were some other times that you thought, this might have been the moment.
I was very, very careful, being a musician saved me, when my other friends were out there doing bad, I was either practicing or playing. I was either playing music or practicing music, or getting ready to play music. So I never really had a chance. Same as the Bernie, my buddy, that ex-brother-in-law, that he's deceased now, but Bernie and I were, well, Bernie did get in trouble. Bernie did. He had a history, but he ended up marrying a very spiritual lady, a very church lady, and so he changed his life around. But no, I always, and when you're in the music business, in clubs and in Canada especially, the gangster fringe are always part of your life, because they're the only ones that can stay up all night and go to clubs, and not have to get up and go to work, because they're already working. So I was always just that close. But when I got busted, I was like everybody else. I did not want to go to jail. I was like, what? Especially for bongs. It's like you waste a good jail sentence on a bong. And so I was scared right up until I got sentenced. After I got sentenced, then I was okay. Then I said, okay, let's it got kind of exciting then. I was looking forward to the experience, because I knew, being Chong, that I was going to get treated very well, because if nothing else, there's a lot of Cheech and Chong fans in prison right now. So I look forward to it, but I'll be honest with you. I was scared to death before I got sentenced, but after I got sentenced, then I was okay, because it was like 9 months. And the thing is, when you're in trouble and you're going to court and you don't know what's going to happen, all these weird scenarios go through your head, especially the one where you think, oh, they're going to realize that, I shouldn't be in jail. In fact, because I have friends, famous friends, when I got sentenced, I talked to Cheech, and Cheech was kind of devastated, because his dad was a cop, and Cheech has got a big fear of prison or anything crooked like that. And so So I talked to Cheech, and I told Cheech, I said, you know, call Arnold. Call Arnold. See if Arnold Schwarzenegger, he was the governor at the time. I said, see if Arnold can do something, you know, because it was seemed weird, you know, that you go to jail for a bong, you know. But and then Geraldo Rivera, you know, he turned out to be Geraldo Rivera. so he could. Nobody could help. Nobody could help. It was the president of the United States, and it was, you know, George Bush and Ashcroft that decided that I should go to jail. And I believe it was because of the Iraqi war. They needed some kind of diversion, and they thought, you know, bombing me would help the cause. But it kind of backfired all the way around, because look at me now. You know, I'm doing a podcast with a gorgeous lady, and it's been years since I did my time.
You always find a way to wind up on top, and that's what people love about you, Tommy.
Yeah.
You're everybody's champion. Now, you've been through so much in your life. The sentence, and then right after that, then your health. You had some health issues, and I know you've always been so open about that. How did cannabis help you get through those tough times?
Oh yeah. Well, I got prostate because I think it was because I was away from cannabis. You know, I was healthy right up until I went to jail, and then when I got out of jail, oh man, you know, I went to the doctor. I knew something was wrong. I felt something in prison, and I was kind of, you know, sometimes just knowing what you got is a relief, as opposed to, oh God, what's wrong with me now? What's going on here? When I found out, you know, I went through, you know, it was funny. I was doing interviews with Don Lemon. He had just gotten on CNN, and because I'd been at it, you know, I was on the news. Don Lemon his office would call, and they called again. You know, they were. I was kind of using the Tommy Chong in jail approach, and that was the last time I talked to Don. Don said, "How's it going?" I says, "Not so good. I got prostate cancer." And there was silence. And there was, I'm very, very sorry to hear that, Tom. And then I never heard from him again. That was like, he treated me like I had cancer, you know. But no, not really. No, Don's a very cool guy. CNN's very cool. No, but when I got prostate, and then I, you know, all my holistic marijuana hippie training kicked in. And so then I went full bore, you know, doing Rick Simpson oil and really doing everything. Oh, my dogs are going crazy. Anyway, and then I got hooked up with some kind of cannabis crazy people that, you know, they're almost like evangelists that think they can heal everything with cannabis, you know. But luckily, my son, who is my manager, Paris, you know, he shooed him away. And then between Paris and my wife, they got the best doctor, because that's one of the perks of being famous, is that you can get the very best. And that's what I did. And I got the very best doctor. And then in the meantime, while I was treating the prostate, I ended up with rectal tumor on my rectum. And now that, there was no messing around. The prostate, they say, oh, you're going to die of something else. It's slow moving. Don't worry about it. You know, don't even treat it, you know, just, you know. But when I got rectal cancer, it was, okay, here's what we got to do. Got me on chemo pills, and you're going to get operated on immediately. And so, and that's when, you know, things really came to a reckoning, you know, where I had to, okay, this could be the one, you know, because it's not slow moving. This is fast acting. But the good news is that when they, you know, did the treatment on the radiation on the rectum, right next to the prostate. So they just said, oh, while we're down here, might as well do this too.
Two for one.
Yeah. So they did a 2-for-1. They cleaned out the prostate, which was so good to do. I'll give advice to anybody. If you got a chance to radiate, do it, because I got a friend that had dealing with prostate, and he's still dealing with it. This is years later, he's still dealing with it. See, that's would have been me had I not got the rectal. But they took out the tumor, give me a new plumbing, and they moved the plumbing to the front, and my life changed. Like right now, I have to deal with that, but it's no problem. It's no problem because I deal with everything, it's like being half Chinese, it's something that I've been dealing with all my life. It's no big deal. But the cannabis, here's how this is my theory, is that the cannabis goes right to the brain. The brain controls your thoughts. Your thoughts can hurt you or help you. It depends. See, that's what religion was all supposed to be all about. And the true spiritual teachings is all about, is that you learn that there is a higher power, but you can't activate that higher power until you yourself have cleaned out your own blockage, so to speak, which are usually mental, and so but I've been spiritual for most of my all my conscious life, and so it was no problem, and so I went into it. The cannabis calmed the mind, and the mind immediately went spiritual, and between the calmness and the spirituality, because what happens when you're calm and you let the body take care of itself, because your brain is a supercomputer. Like they got AI, artificial intelligence. Oh, it's so much smarter than humans. Well, you always got to remember, it was a human that invented it. So no, AI is not smarter than humans. They can be programmed away, but we all have that ability to heal ourselves, to do great things, to heal others. We have that ability, all of us, every one of us on this planet. In fact, think about this. Medicine is really plant life. Like an aspen's a tree, the medicine that we get, a morphine, which they discovered during the Civil War, is a flower. It's a poppy. So our medicine comes from the earth. We come from the earth. We are of the earth, and so once you get in tune with that knowledge, and all you have to do is know this, and know that particular medicine or that particular mindset can help you, then you're on the road to recovery, because our bodies, every one of us, we are spiritually connected, whether we believe it or not. Now, some of us know it and a lot of us don't. And the reason we don't know it, it's like seeing a movie. If you know the ending, then you don't really need to see the movie. But if you are going through a life experience where you need to have that experience, be it good, bad, or otherwise, not knowing, it helps, because now you learn, you learn. You never learn. Winners very seldom learn anything. In fact, most winners, golf or sports or anything, they thank God, which is good. I got to thank God because it wasn't me. It's the losers that learn. Losers learn. Why did they learn? Because they don't like that feeling of being a loser. So what did I do wrong? Okay, I should have done this. I could have done that. I shouldn't have done that. Shouldn't have partied. I should have taken. You learn. That's when you learn. But you very seldom learn when you win. And now knowing this, see, I was blessed because I was given this knowledge of the spiritual power, the everything. And this stupid dog.
That mine does the same thing. They just want to be heard. He's got something to say.
They're chasing gophers. Yeah, birds or gophers. They're yapping. They're yapsalada. But you know what I'm saying? It's knowing who you are. And that's, it's not a problem because everybody's, on a learning thing. And everybody can't be a winner. In fact, in most contests, there's usually one winner, one team, one guy or a girl, one. But how many losers? Millions.
Right.
And I watched a great movie. Have you seen The Octopus Teacher yet?
No, I haven't. You have to put it on the list.
Whoa, you got to see that. You got to see that. Oh, you talk about an experience with the animal world. Wow. This diver is a cinematographer and a diver and his son. They were filming an octopus. You know how octopus can change shapes and hide and everything. They got to know her personally. It was a her because she has the eggs. She gives babies. But it is such a touching and beautiful story because they had a relationship. The tentacles. It would hug it would come and hug the diver. And oh my God, and they had the drama in it. I won't spoil it for you, but see that movie again, and that's another thing too. When you get spiritually connected, like what I do, when I lose my phone, I think I told you this before. When I lose my phone, I say, okay, God, where's my phone? I talk to God like he's a phone finder. And within minutes, the phone appears. Now, it could be in front of my face. I just didn't see it. But so now I got a thing we'll say. When I'm watching TV, I say, okay, God, what should I watch? And then all of a sudden, these phenomenal, like the Octopus Teacher, they come up. And so, hey, listen, I've been so blessed. Look at yesterday with 420. It was basically a holiday for Cheech and Chong, because we had a great party, and then we watched the Up in Smoke with all our fans on Zoom, and then we answered questions, and I saw Up in Smoke again for the first time in many years, and it was amazing. It was amazing. And I realized why it was such a hit. You know why it was a hit?
Why?
It was a musical.
A musical? I watched it. I don't remember any singing and dancing in there.
Are you kidding? The last number went on forever, where they won the Battle of the Bands.
Right,
and
right.
And that went on. That song went on. We played the whole song. And it was like a revelation because up until then we were just two idiots, trying to find a way to get high.
Right.
But what happened?
That's what I love about that movie, and also what you did, and also what Willie has done, is that you've really brought cannabis like out of the shadows and into the limelight of Hollywood, and made it okay for people to laugh, for people to ask questions. And that's what's so exciting about cannabis to me right now, is that there's so much knowledge for us to gain from it. And for so long, it's been taboo for us to even ask those questions. And now I feel like we're going to be able to sip from this fire hose, and we're going to be able to find all these new uses for cannabis because we're allowed to ask, we're allowed to even dare to ask the question now. And I have to say that I think largely it's due to people like you, like Willie and Cheech.
Yeah, well, there are some eternal things on this planet that we deal with every day, and music is one of them. And see, that's why Willie is Willie, because he's been writing phenomenal songs since the 40s, and I remember being a kid and listening to the songs, and wow, and never thinking, never putting together that somebody actually sat down and wrote this song. It was just, it appeared, and wow, what a beautiful experience. And that's what Willie, and it's not just cowboy songs. I mean, this guy's written some of the most iconic what do you call it? Masterpieces, literally masterpieces done by everybody in the world. And not only that, he did it for love, for love. In fact, I don't know the record, but I'm quite sure Willie has been up and down many times financially because he never cared about money, and therefore people took advantage of him. But it didn't matter because, when you're on a trip like Willie, that it doesn't matter how much people steal from him. There's going to be more that comes in there because he is such a treasure. And all of the songs that they have these eternal messages. Oh man, I mean, and the greatest thing about Willie is that he's a comedian at heart. When I meet Willie, he always tells me a joke, and it's great. Cheech and I used his material in our show for years. Cheech, Cheech plays a little like a character, a Red Hickey, where he's a country singer. I'm just thinking of that name, Red Hickey. But no, Willie, man. I can't say enough about Willie. And now, especially now, I met Larry King just before he died. I was on his show, and we had a great time talk. I'd seen Larry over the years. We came very close to talking. But by the time I would leave or he would leave. So anyway, I ended up on his show, and and he kind of reminds me of Willie in so many ways, because Larry King, he just cut to the chase, he'd be talking and he'd go boom. The first question is like knocks you off your chair, really, and Willie has that power too. Willie has that power. When I did we all did all my crazy friends are coming over tonight. Hank Williams Jr. He called all his crazy friends from all around the world. I flew in from Paris, and I met Cheech, and then we went and did the Hank Williams Jr.'s party, and that's when I met Willie, and we had a nice time. And I think I kind of blew Willie's mind in a way, because my connection with Willie was in the movies. Willie was in a movie called Barbarossa, and he did bam. I thought for sure we were going to see a new Western hero, and it would be Willie, because his whole being, no one looks better than with his braids and his cowboy hat than Willie.
And that's a fact. That's a fact. Well, that's what you guys all are. You're just so authentic. You're so yourselves. So, Tommy, I got one last question for you, Is it, and I know this is an issue that's near and dear to your heart. Why is it so important for people to activate their voices and vote on cannabis issues?
Well, we're that far away from federally acceptance, and that's what we need. You see, we as much as the states go legal, it doesn't mean nothing until we get it rescheduled from Schedule 1 to Schedule 2. That's all. And once they do that, then the banks will accept our money. We can now we're and I'll tell you why it hasn't worked that way. Is that the United States signed a worldwide treaty with all these countries to ban marijuana. And in order to have them sign, the United States gave them millions of dollars. Every year they got millions of dollars to keep cannabis illegal. And thanks to the plastic industry and the hemp haters. But now we've debunked all the myths about cannabis, and it has to be legalized federally, and it has to be during this first term, Biden's first term. And it's not up to Biden; it's up to the Senate and the rest of the government to get off the dime, because it's all about money. It's all about money. It's all about the and they're jumping on board too. The cigarette industry and the liquor industry. They're sort of, oh, okay, we better legalize it, because their wives and mothers who need their cannabis, they're not going to go to jail, and be handcuffed and taken away for getting their sleep aid. So it's very, very important that and then once we do that, once we legalize that, then you're going to see a huge change in the world. Because you got to remember, marijuana was made illegally for racist and money purposes.
Right.
It is to this day, it is a racist law, and it should not be on the books, because there's no way that that cannabis, everybody admits that it should not be illegal. And who's holding it up? Who knows? But whoever is, let it go.
Yeah.
It's time to let it go.
The dawn is coming. And I think that you were a huge part of that. I know Willie as well. I've got to say, as a hemp business owner myself, and I know I speak for many other people, we have to say thank you, because we wouldn't have businesses if it wasn't for people like you and Willie really leading the way for all of us. And now we're so close. We just need everybody to get together and push this thing over the edge. And
that's what we need.
It's coming.
I got asked Mount Rushmore. Somebody asked me an interview. They said, who would you like to see on the Mount Rushmore of pot? And I said, well, first of all, it wouldn't be Mount Rushmore. I want it to be Stone Mountain in Atlanta. And I want to see Cheech and Chong, Willie Nelson, and Snoop Dogg carved in stone.
I think you nailed it. That's it. Also, I feel like that should be our cabinet choice going forward. Next presidential run, you guys are in. Let's do this. I'm declaring your candidacy right now, Tommy.
No, please. I don't want to go to the White House until this is called the Brown House.
Love it. Oh, Tommy, thank you so much for your time. As always, we always love being able to catch up with you. And if people want to stay in touch with you, they can obviously go to TommyChong.com. And if they want to give your CBD a try, you can go to getchongcbd.com.
Okay, and thank you very much, Brooke. And we're going to do this again, right?
Yes, you can't get rid of me. I'm like a bad rash. Okay, that's it. You're stuck with me, Tommy.
I wouldn't call you exactly a bad rash. Maybe a very sexy bad rash.
I love it, Tommy. Thank you so
darling.
much as always. You're amazing, wonderful. We love you.
Love you. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.